The professor thinks I'm totally wrong, that we are going to always be number one. I don't believe that. Okay, we'll always be.
You don't know the word number. I did not say.
Okay, we will always be number.
No. We will not have to be always be number one. I don't believe.
We will always be happy.
No, we should not stick to the idea. We will always be. So that's the difference. I'm not a venture capitalist. I'm not Harvard educated. I do not do. We will always be. I'm not so certain about always thing. First, I do not think it's desirable to say we'll always be number one. Why do we have to be number? Aren't the Indians, Chinese people human beings too? Do they deserve to live some good life as well? Why do you have to beat them up? What's wrong with them to live a middle class life?
You know,
what's wrong with that?
Right now, I believe we are helping them become number one, and they will do great. They'll do great things. I love the Indians. I tried to get my family to move to India after I came back. I love India. Read my book. I absolutely love it. I love China. I just got back from China. I would love to live in Beijing or Shanghai.
Well, you're excited.
Well, I'd love to. They're wonderful countries. They're wonderful, wonderful people. I've been to Vietnam. I've been to Cambodia. But if your point is, my point is, all I'm doing is showing you what I've seen. I'm not trained in religion. I'm not trained in anything else. I'm trained in creating new products and new companies that create jobs, that create wealth for the people that work with me. I have a personal philosophy. Every company I invest in, every employee is an owner. I've made people very financially successful. That's all I do. So I claim no expertise beyond that. And I am saying that our economy is not, with the path we're on, we will not live at the same economic level. No, we may be poorer and happier. And that's our choice. We can make that choice. That's a choice. And if that's what people want to vote for, that's, God bless them.
I think Bob, you get more responsibility than that, because what do? You put money, make a movie. If you are purely expressing your personal view, I wouldn't bother drive down 5 hours to talk with you. But you are here taking a big platform, saying that I'm showing you this, it's just my personal thing, believe it or not. I think you have to hold more commitment to that. Since you're putting so much money, you show 26,000 people, I think there's more responsibility on you. I would not like to say any businessman put in $3 million to say, this is my personal view, take it or like it or like it or not.
No,
I'm out of it. The second thing,
just to get the numbers correct, I invested $3 million in the public education system. I invested $500,000 in the film.
Well, that's fine. $500,000. Anyway, if I have $500,000, I can add to your $3 million. But anyways, I think when you do this, I don't think it's an easy way to evade the responsibility, saying that just my personal thing, forget about it, I'm going home, enjoy it.
You know, what do you want to do? You attack me, you say I'm wrong.
No, this is supposed to be a debate. If you accept you're wrong, I will withdraw the film and can destroy the DVDs and pack it.
Hey, you know what? 20,000 people. The great thing about America, I didn't put a gun to anybody said to buy those DVDs. People bought them.
I was actually one of them.
Thank you for your business.
I'm going to ask you each one last question. Just want to just a quick response to it, and just more curious than anything else. I'll ask you this first. I mean, Bob's broader point about, he's very careful. He doesn't necessarily criticize schools. He criticizes the larger culture in which we live, and it's anti-intellectualism. The anti-intellectualism of American life has been well documented for 50 or 60 years. Do you really think that that's a problem? There's no question that we have a problem there, right?
Well, I don't know what to call anti-intellectualism. If you go around the world, places in like China, meritocracy, elitism, England, I think in this country, I would like people to read more to gain those things. However, I do believe American perhaps so far has the best system, social culture, that nobody's there to impose until recently. People are trying to impose on others. I think our education system is moving toward a much more dangerous authoritarian approach to education. Who are going to decide, say, we bet math and science can save your life in 20 years. I think in this culture, in the American culture, in general, one thing I like, that's why I came here, don't drive me away, you know, is the idea about we believe individuals are to be celebrated. Our American education system at least says that our purpose is to help every and each child realize his or her potential, whatever that may be, rather than trying to force you in a planned economy like China or the former Soviet Union. You have to take 4 courses of this, 3 courses of this, and thereafter you will be successful. By the way, China, over 30% of Chinese college graduates cannot find a job after paying so much money. So if you think that's a great economy, because they were not prepared to adapt to a changing economy.
And I want to close with this question to you. I know you're a David Brooks fan. You sent me David Brooks' article. He had a really great column, maybe it was a couple months ago, maybe, and talking about the same issues that you're really passionate about. But he really focused on efficiency and technology and globalization. Specifically, he had one fact that there's essentially China's lost 10 times as many manufacturing jobs in the last decade as this country has. I mean, he really pointed to efficiency, productivity, and that this is really a global playing field. All the rules are changing. It's really hard to point at one country or another country and say, here's the winners, here's the losers. I don't know if you saw that column, so I'm not quizzing you about the column, but just that general idea is, I mean, is your argument essentially a Cold War argument? That it's us versus them?
No, I think each country should play to its strengths and find what its strengths are. But I think, you know, we pose the questions: are we going to be able to compete in the emerging industries driven by science, engineering, and technology? And my belief is that we are not educating our students to be globally competitive in those industries. But I don't feel, you know, to use an athletics, since we're all Americans, you know, to use an athletics analogy, I love to play against a tough competitor because it makes me better. 2 businesses competing hard against each other is great for the consumer because it gets the best product at the best price. And I don't view the Chinese or Indians as enemies at all. I mean, I hire lots of them. We trade technologies back and forth. You're right, we do. We create a lot of technology and then license it to India and China. We export enormous amounts of know-how and patent technology. But you got to look at some metrics. I mean, our cumulative trade deficit of goods with China is $1.5 trillion. We have a global trade deficit that is at an all-time high. We are buying more of other people's things than they're buying of our things. I'm not an economist, but just prima facie, that doesn't sound good to me. So what I'm arguing for is the best opportunities for our children for happy, successful careers, I believe require higher cognitive skills than our children are getting in the school system.
Can I add a footnote to the trade deficit?
Just one footnote. Let me go to questions from the audience. First, let's do a round of applause for